Hey guys, Strong Style Studios back again. It's Alex.
And it's me, Noah.
And we're here with your TNA Slammiversary 2013 pay-per-view review. TNA goes to 11 this year.
Oh God!
Yes.
They sure did know how to make it special.
Oh, they cranked up the shit factor to 11 on this show.
Oh yeah.
This show, going in, didn't have a lot of hype. Didn't have me excited for the show, and I think we agree that every single match except for like two were okay. Were like no real problems with them. Every other match we had a complaint about.
Yep.
Okay.
About two matches that were good enough.
Yeah, like no real problems. Okay, well we started things off with the Ultimate X match for the X Division title between champion Kenny King versus Chris Sabin and Suicide. And want to start this thing off?
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
This was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was just kind of like a regular X Division match. They didn't use the structure till the very end.
Yeah.
You know, the finish really.
Yeah.
And it just felt, I don't know, just like a very average TNA X Division match.
Mm-hmm. They did have a lot of nice offense. I think they worked pretty well together. They pulled off some nice double team moves and three-man spots or whatever. But yeah, they, you know, I understand like the Ultimate X match. They don't want to go crazy, you know, don't want to risk guys' lives and everything and careers and blah blah blah. But it's like if you're gonna book an Ultimate X match, you book an Ultimate X match. You let these guys go out there and you let them go nuts, go crazy, do some crazy spots. You know what I mean?
Steal the show.
Yeah. This was very, very tamed and not one of the better Ultimate X matches, but still a good match. But I would have rather just had it be a triple threat match and just, you know, book it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
And I'm going to have to go with my original rating. I'm going to give this 3 stars. I thought it was good.
Okay.
But it just left a lot to be desired.
Okay, I'm going to go with 3 1/4. I really enjoyed it, and I was very surprised by the winner, which was Chris Sabin win, which is really cool because I think he deserves it. Kind of a shame that him and Kenny King's feud isn't really going anywhere now. I don't know, maybe we'll go somewhere, but like hopefully they keep that feud going.
Yeah, it's a problem with the triple threats.
Yeah,
we've been saying that since they started.
That's really stupid. Yeah. All right, and then we after this match, right after this match, we had the bullshit start with with Hulk Hogan coming out there and basically stealing all of Chris Sabin's thunder.
Yep, came out while he's celebrating with his win and basically soaked up all of the crowd.
Yeah.
Adulation. Completely stole his thunder, like you said.
Yeah.
Stole the spotlight.
There was a point, like he talked about like how Chris Sabin, brother, you know, you're doing awesome. These Boston fans love you as much as they loved me back in the day. And then there's a moment where it's like it's clear as crystal that Hulk Hogan didn't come out here to praise Chris Sabin. He's putting up Chris Sabin about everything and how he can cash in the X Division title win to get a title shot for the world title. And the crowd starts chanting Hogan. Now, instantly, Hulk Hogan wanted to put over Chris Sabin. He would tell that crowd to stop chanting for him and start chanting for Chris Sabin. He didn't do that. He let them finish chanting his name, pause, looks around, blah, blah.
Listens. And
Yeah.
like, lets everyone know they're chanting Hogan, basically.
Yeah. And then he starts talking again. So, clear as crystal, he didn't come out there to praise Chris Sabin. He came out there to steal the spotlight.
And he did.
And if anyone says differently that he was putting over Chris Sabin, that right there was a clear as crystal picture that he didn't give a shit.
Really, why would we need him to put over Chris Sabin? We just saw him have a good match and win a title. We get it. He's over.
Yeah, okay. And then we had Hulk Hogan cut a horrendous promo.
It felt like it lasted forever. I guess they all feel like they last forever.
But this one was this was probably my worst promo of the year so far. He brought up the Boston terrorist thing. He basically mentioned how Boston isn't afraid of terrorists. It's like, oh my God, you're going that route?
Right.
And just horrendous promo, and probably my least favorite promo of the year. Like this is probably my worst promo of the year so far.
Terrible. He used the terrorist thing to get a cheap Boston pop, and it was just I wouldn't go there.
Anyway, this led into Ace and Nate were out there, and like he flipped them off into the #1. So Matthew, if you're interested in a new countdown thing, there you go. Because he did went to 3. You know,
it was great.
But it was pretty funny. He didn't say Yappa Pie, but
unfortunately,
yeah. And this led into the 6-man Ace and Nate's match between TNA, Samoa Joe, Magnus, and the returning Jeff Hardy, who looked like fucking Charles Manson with a giant beard and horrible hair. By the way, Ace and Nate's members were Mr. Anderson, Wes Brisco, and Garett Bischoff, or as I call him, Bitchoff, because I fucking hate that guy.
Right.
Almost as much as I hate Wes Brisco after this match. You want to go first?
Yeah, I guess this was, fine. I guess it was fine as a match. The way it started was just so stupid. You get Hardy makes his he's returning to TNA
Yeah.
Impact, and he's the one taking the heat segment right off the bat. No back and forth at all. So that I hated.
Yeah, oh my god, that's horrible.
Like you said, what's his name?
Wes.
He just...
Well, first of all, let me say right now, when Joe got in this ring, he beat the fuck out of Garett
That was
Bischoff.
fun to
That was
watch.
funny as hell. I loved it. And then he did the classic, Garett tries to do a top rope spot and Joe just walks out of the way. Which
Yeah,
is fun.
that was funny.
I love that spot. Never get tired of that.
But other than that, I mean, other than Joe, I wasn't really into this match. The finish was fine. It was good.
Yeah. Magnus was okay, but then then Wes Brisco botched not once but twice botched the twist of fate, taking the twist of fate.
It looked really...
Oh my! It was like
Really
I've
bad.
never seen it botched worse than that. Like he
But he botched it the same way
he
twice.
botched it twice. You botched twice? It was
Oh.
the finish. Yeah, the finish was all right, I think. But yeah, so Team TNA gets the win. And what you give this match?
I give it 2.5. It was fine.
I went 2.5. It was fine. If it was on Impact, I would have liked it better probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This led into another horrendous match, which was Jay Bradley versus Sam Shawn, whatever his name is, in a GutCheck tournament match, I guess. The winner getting a shot in the Bound for Glory Series tournament. This was basically like day one wrestling.
Yeah, this was awful. I
Yeah.
mean, they did everything possible to slow it down.
Yeah.
It's like they set out to not have the crowd into this match.
Yeah,
it was just not good at all.
No.
What would you give this?
I was originally said 1 star, but I'll go 3/4 of a star. Like I just
I mean, 3/4 of a
three
star.
quarters of a star, whatever. It was just horrendous. I mean,
Yeah,
good
I mean,
God. This was a pay-per-view, and this was match would not be good on Impact.
no, this match sucked.
Yeah.
I gave it a pity star.
Okay.
I mean, it was bad. But
Yeah.
then, following the match, Bradley gets to show, okay, maybe he's not an in-ring guy, so they give him a promo time,
Mhm.
and he cuts the most generic promo. This is every wrestling promo you ever heard in your life,
Yeah.
just the same shit.
Mm-hmm. It just, I'm the first one in the tournament. I'm going to be the winner. I'm going to be your next champion. It's like, okay, heard that shit
Great.
before. Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
God awful waste of time.
And this is guy that apparently was better than Brian Cage.
Yeah, this is the guy who got picked over
Brian Cage,
the fucking machine.
Yeah. Real doozy to pick their TNA.
Yeah, way to go.
All right, and then the shit fest continued. Yeah, this is shitversary. Here we go.
Yeah,
Trademark that.
There it is.
Okay, this continued with the television title match between Devon and originally Joseph Parks. Is it Joseph Parks or Joseph Park?
Park.
Park. Okay.
But Devon can't say Park.
I guess not. Whatever. Anyway, they jumped him before the match, so he didn't show up. They count him out. He then says how, if Abyss was here, I'd beat Abyss. And, well, naturally Abyss showed up, and so they had a match, I guess. And, yeah, the Monster Abyss, who just made his return to Impact, how do you think the match should have gone?
Well, I think it should have been almost dominated by the Monster Abyss, you'd think.
I would think so.
At least to start.
It'd be like a squash almost, right?
Similar.
Yeah. How did the match go?
Well, I do remember it starting with a heat segment on Abyss.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. And Abyss got little to no offense in at all.
No.
It was a boring match.
And Abyss looks corny.
Yeah.
He looks very campy.
Abyss, I actually didn't, I actually liked it when Abyss returned on Impact. I thought like, okay, maybe they'll do something, but just, the monster's dead. The monster's dead and gone, folks.
Gone.
Stick a fork in him. This gets a dud. I fucking hated this match.
I thought it was shit. I gave it half a star, and that's being pretty generous.
It was horrendous. But yeah, Abyss wins, and he's your television champion. Maybe I should defend it. That'd be a shocker.
Right.
All right, and then we got another match, which we were.
Wait. Next.
Oh right, I forgot.
We
Yes.
had Dixie Carter come out.
Yeah.
That's what I love to pay for.
Time out right here, real quick. Dixie Carter is the most useless woman on the planet.
It's just as a human being.
I hate her. I hate her more than I hate DJ Hyde, and I do not like DJ Hyde. If you guys know me.
She might be the most useless person in the wrestling business. Yeah. Like just a complete idiot.
Jeff Jarrett was a piece of shit, but at least Jeff Jarrett could wrestle.
I mean,
the
thing is about Jarrett though, like, yeah, he wasn't I didn't like him, but he was doing things for himself to try and get himself over and stay over. But
Yeah.
Dixie she's just like, hey, I'm in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
This is so much
Yeah.
fun. Like,
Yeah.
go away.
She looks like a fan, basically.
Yeah, she's just an idiot.
Yeah.
Just
She doesn't look like a businesswoman. She doesn't look like she knows what she's doing.
And she's been fooled so many times. Look at the people she's hired.
Yeah.
If you've read it.
We're getting into rant.
Yeah, we're going
let's
too
stay
far.
focused here. She was out here to announce the newest inductee to the TNA Hall of Fame, the most useless Hall of Fame in the world.
Yeah.
But actually, they had a good inductee this year. They inducted Kurt Angle. And we will applaud. Applaud a little bit, yeah. Thank you.
Lost my shit.
Yeah, okay. Because Kurt Angle is probably the best choice. He's a good choice. I don't know. He's not the best. If you're talking about a TNA legend, Kurt Angle may not be the first one I picked, the second one I picked, but whatever. But yeah, Kurt Angle has done a lot for the company. He helped kind of legitimize it, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that this is an attempt to legitimize their Hall of Fame. They got Sting, and they got Angle. These are two guys that aren't in WWE's Hall of Fame.
Kind of
that's a little
subtle way to stick it to WWE.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going for. I think maybe going forward they'll start putting TNA guys, but probably not yet.
I'd expect Jeff Jarrett to be in there pretty soon. He deserves it. I mean, he has done a lot for TNA in the early years. Or AJ Styles.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't really care.
It doesn't.
What do you got to do to deserve to get into a Hall of Fame? That doesn't mean shit.
No, not much. Anyway, but Kurt Angle cut a very nice promo. You could tell he was very touched by it.
Yeah, he was choked up. It was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. And Kurt Angle, we do love Kurt Angle. We say a lot. We joke about Kurt Angle a lot, but we respect the hell of the guy.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. He's always having good matches.
Never really see a bad Kurt Angle match.
No, but he's always his work rate.
He's
always work, and he, like I said earlier to you, he'll beat the brakes off you. He'll make you work.
Oh yeah, exactly. He's a great guy. So good for him for getting into inductee. Hopefully he goes back to WWE one day and gets inducted in the Hall of Fame for real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then next up we got the four-team tag team elimination match between the champions Chavo Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez, aka Los Stereotypicals, is that what they're called?
I believe so.
Taking on Bad Influence Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, Austin Aries and Bobby Roode. So I don't have a name for them. I wish they did. And the thrown together tag team of James Storm and Gunner. This match was pretty good for the most part. Didn't really pick up though.
No, it didn't. I felt like, honestly, going in, I felt like this was going to be the best match on the card.
I thought so too.
I was hoping for that.
Yeah.
It was good, like you said. Everybody got a chance to shine a little bit, but nothing we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Nothing that furthered really anything that you want to go.
It felt like it's very much like this. These guys were just on cruise control. Like they didn't really go out there. They didn't do anything mind blowing. It was good, but it was like I could have seen this match on Impact and I would have had no problem with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think every elimination I had a problem with. First and foremost, Danielson and Kazarian get eliminated by disqualification by attacking whoever. I think it was Chavo with the tag team belts. And then while they're still walking away and the camera's on them, quickly Aries rolls up Chavo and pins him 1, 2, 3. Like the champions have been eliminated. That should be a really, really big deal in an elimination tag team match. If there's going to be new champions, they didn't build any drama off that at all.
No, I just felt like it just happened and there you go.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah. So came down to Aries and Roode versus James Storm and Gunner. And they had a pretty nice little exchange.
Yeah, they went back and forth. And to James Storm's credit, because I've heard that he's hurt, he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He looked solid.
Yeah, and they made it work. Like he got hurt in his leg or whatever early in the match, so it worked, Gunner is still not very impressive to me. I'm still not interested in the guys. James Storm made him look a little better, but I'm still not interested in the guy at all. And
no,
go ahead.
I'll let you. All right. Well, to me, I agree. I think that his offense is just
generic.
So generic.
Yeah.
I mean, he relies a lot on lariats, and not in a good way.
No.
Not in a Nigel McGuinness way.
No.
But he'll clothesline you, and then it's stomps and this and that. He's only got like 3 moves.
Mm-hmm. He used to do the F5.
Well, he exchanged that for the torture rack.
Yeah, the worst submission ever.
Terrible move.
Yeah, and of course, and naturally, he used the torture rack to make Aries tap for the second time in a row this week.
Yeah, in 4 days, Aries has tapped twice to the torture rack. Yeah. Are you kidding me? The torture. Does anyone actually believe that actually hurts?
Calm down.
My God, have you seen a real fight? God.
Anyway, yeah. So James Storm and Gunner, the most fucking thrown together tag team in recent TNA history is your new tag team champions, which is the dumbest thing ever. Bad Influence or Aries and Roode should have won this match, no question.
Definitely. You should have had these guys chasing for the belts. Why do they deserve to be the champions just off the top? Just because Gunner showed up with a beard, they're champs now?
Apparently you get a beard, you get a push. I need to grow mine out. Okay. Anyway, what'd you give this match?
I gave this 3 stars. It was solid.
I gave it 3 stars as well. But I actually had a problem with every elimination. But they had some good spots in there. What they should have done is they had it perfectly done. Could have easily booked it. Aries and Roode versus Bad Influences, the last 2 teams. That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, and honestly, with the last 2 teams, I didn't mind that because the whole beer money.
Yeah, but and they played up a little bit.
Would have been cool, but now I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't.
They didn't really
care.
play it up that much. I felt though.
No, they didn't.
Anyway, next up we probably had, in my opinion, maybe the match of the night. Shocking as it may seem, but it was the last knockout standing match, which first and foremost Brooke Hogan made a botch and said it was the first one ever, which it wasn't.
Wait, Brooke Hogan botched? I can't believe that.
I know, shocking. Anyway, it was between Gail Kim, probably the best women's wrestler in mainstream wrestling today.
I would agree with that.
At least on television. I heard Paige is very good, but taking on Taryn Terrell. I'll give credit where credit's due. I wasn't really excited for this match going in. I thought it would be alright. These girls busted their ass.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw a women's match where they just worked this hard. As far as on television,
maybe Lita and Trish Stratus.
It's been at least that long. That's how. This was a very good match.
This was awesome.
This is one of those matches where, like you said, you didn't expect much going in, but man, they did the most with the least.
Yeah, these girls took spots that I think some men would be questioning, there's one time where Gail Kim's on the apron and Taryn Terrell goes to spear her, goes right through the ropes, lands right on the entrance ramps, that would hurt, and then do a drop toe on the ramp, which is gonna hurt like hell. Gail Kim took a sick bump right into a chair, falling off and then the finish. The finish. Taryn Terrell did a cutter off the ramp onto the floor. That looked like it hurt like hell.
Yes.
So kudos to both those girls for busting their ass tonight and getting just getting a lot out of nothing basically.
Yes, they worked really hard.
They did a great job.
And especially with Taryn Terrell, I haven't seen much of her. I didn't really know what to expect. I expected this to be either from terrible to watchable.
Yeah.
And this was great. Well, I wouldn't say great. Well, as a women's match, it was great.
It was the best women's match I've seen in years. This was from mainstream wrestling.
And like you said, this is definitely going to be in my top 10 of TNA.
Definitely,
at least this far.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of this match.
I did too.
What'd you give this one?
I'm gonna bump it up a little higher. I'm gonna go 3.5. I fucking love this match. I think these girls bust there. The only thing that I had a problem with this match was they didn't give enough time. They should have given these girls 15 minutes or something like that. They should give them more time.
I gave this 3.25, but that's not to take anything away.
No.
The only reason I didn't go higher was because it was so short.
Yeah, but I can't help but love this match. I thought it was great.
Yep.
Next up, we had for the 1000th time ever, AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle. First and foremost, let me say right now, TNA took my advice and changed AJ Styles' music, which is very nice. Fits the gimmick very nicely.
Yes.
I thought.
Yeah.
What do you think of this match, Noah?
I don't know. It started off kind of slow. It wasn't a match that like you said, we've seen this match 100 times, so it wasn't. You didn't see anything new,
groundbreaking.
Exactly. But it was a solid match. It was good. It really did start to pick up. I thought it dragged at first, but then it kicked in after a couple of cool spots. One particular top rope spot where AJ lands on his feet after a German attempt was really cool.
And then runs at Kurt Angle, gets caught in the belly to belly into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yes. Lands on his head.
Yeah.
Very cool segment. And then, like I said, that's when it picked up. But the finish
sucked.
Yeah, the finish sucked.
Basically, Kurt Angle gets a really sloppy looking roll up, and it looked like the kind of roll up you do when you're trying to get countered, basically. Right. It doesn't look like it didn't look like that ever when you imagine. Kurt Angle wins it with that one. Just really kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And also I didn't like Kurt Angle winning. AJ Styles is supposed to be being built up as this big character, and he's eventually going to challenge for the title, I think. Probably that's what they should do anyway. And Kurt Angle beats him in his first pay-per-view match all year.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I thought that, like you said, it's his first pay-per-view match all year. they're trying to make him this lone wolf that's a threat to everybody.
Yeah, and that's kind of like he's the guy that you want on your side to turn the tide of the battle, even though obviously TNA's kicking Ace and Nate's ass, you know.
Right. And then over the weekend, Kurt Angle tweeted some about how AJ will never be on his level. And then I didn't go out and fucking prove it.
I didn't hear about that. Oh,
come on. Like, he's in the Hall of Fame. Why does he need to win?
No, I know.
He's already over.
Okay. What'd you give this match?
I gave this another 3 1/4.
I went 3.5. I liked it a lot. I think it picked up nicely, but, you know, wrong guy went over, and the finish was pretty bad, I thought. All right, and then we have your main event of the night. It was Bully Ray defending his TNA World title against Sting in a no disqualification match. If Sting lost, he would never get a TNA World title shot again. Where do we begin with this match?
I don't know.
Well, first and foremost, let's talk about the fact that their entrances took longer than Randy Orton's entrance fucking ever. These guys, like, walked at a snail's pace to get to the ring.
It took forever.
Sting, once again, is wearing a fucking t-shirt to the ring, which it just drives me fucking nuts. It's a little thing, but it
looks like a
nuts.
slob.
He looks like a slob, yeah. Can get clean face paint, but can't take his fucking shirt off. They worked a decent match, I thought. They worked okay. You know, it had a nice little bit of a story. Sting was whipping Bully Ray with the belt, with the wrong side. He's whipping it with the leather side, not the gold side. At one point, Bully Ray rips Sting's shirt and starts, you know, smacking it. So Sting's having a torn shirt. He doesn't take it off the whole fucking match.
It's hanging by a thread, but no, he's not going to take that off.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Sting's old, but
he didn't look bad. Yeah.
Just take the fucking shirt off.
Yeah.
Man.
Hogan is taking his shirt off more than Sting, and like Hogan looks a lot worse than Sting.
Yeah.
Anyway, of course they have Brooke Hogan come out, and you know, at one point when Sting's just beating the shit out of Bully Ray with a steel chair, and you know, make sure
did nothing. What
did
the
nothing.
Fuck
yeah.
was the point of that?
I guess just to remind us that Brooke Hogan's there. I guess, you know.
Cool.
You know, where's your daddy when you need him? You know, like you blow the Hulk Hogan sign, but you can't have him come out and take Brooke Hogan away. Anyway, so they actually did, like, the ending was not even like nice. Like Bully Ray said before the promo, he's gonna use the powder to beat Sting, which would have been nice if they brought up earlier on in like the feud that he's gonna use a powder to Sting, but whatever. And he actually did use it, and it looked nasty. And then he did something I've never seen before, which was he got on a knife first of all. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna get like Jimmy Jacobs stuff here, you know?
I'm gonna cut you.
Yeah. And he takes the matting off the ring, and I thought like, oh, that's cool. I've never seen anyone do that before.
Peeled it back so you could just see the boards.
Yeah, and then he did a powder on there.
And that looked brutal.
Yeah, and Sting kicked out.
Right.
And then they kept going, and then Ace and Nate showed up, and
like
just
4 or 5 guys.
4 Ace guys is Ace and Nate, but there was Doc, Knox, Wes, and Garett, and like Sting low blowed and beat the shit out of all of them. And then he's hitting Bully Ray again, and then Devon shows up, and the referee, and Sting knocks him out, and then Anderson hands Bully Ray a hammer, and then he knocks Sting out and gets the win. It's just like, it was an overbooked piece of shit, and it made Ace and Nate look like a bunch of jokes as if they hadn't looked like a joke before.
Exactly. Sting fighting off all these guys.
Yep.
And the thing is, we've seen Aces and Eights run in countless times.
Mm-hmm.
Every week they run in on a match. Why do I have to pay to see a main event that I know how it's going to end like that?
Here's my question. Why the fuck does no one from the locker room of TNA show up and help them? You know, you hype up every week that TNA is all united against Ace and Nates. It's like, well, no, they're not, because they ain't showing up to fucking fight Ace and Nates when they need to. So, this was a piece of shit. I mean,
yeah.
Sting, you know, looks like the fucking unstoppable warrior, and Bully Ray looks like the heel that can't get a fucking win. It's just, it's typical dumb wrestling booking, and it did no favors for anyone.
No, I really didn't enjoy this.
And I liked everything about. I actually liked this match up until that point, when it just Ace and H run in and ruined the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was decent enough. They were going.
I liked the pulling up the ring mat. I thought that was really unique, and I've never seen that before. And I thought that was a nice, you know, way of selling the idea that these guys want to kill each other.
Yeah.
And then they didn't end with that.
No.
Or they didn't use it more. You know, so. What'd you get this match?
This match I gave 2.5. I thought it was very. I mean, as a main event, it wasn't very good.
It was pretty bad. It's typical TNA at this point that they're gonna have a bad main event.
The thing is though, like, how many months has it been since their last pay-per-view that they've had to build and book a good pay-per-view, and they gave us this?
Yeah, this was a steaming turd.
This was terrible.
Yeah. I mean, this may be one of the worst shows I've ever had to sit through, but I had fun watching it because I was just laughing how terrible it was.
Yeah, that's the only enjoyment I got out of this match, or this show, was how god-awful it was.
Yeah. By the way, we watched part Chikara IPV, which with that had a really stupid ending. We're not going to go into that. We'll review that another time. But, yeah, this made that show look like, you know, a fucking WrestleMania. So,
yes.
Sorry to besmirch Chikara by bringing it up with TNA, but it had to be done.
How would you rate this show?
I'm going to give it a 4.75 out of 10. It was a bad show. You know, check out the Ultimate X match. Check out the tag team match because it actually is pretty fun. Check out the women's match for sure. Check out AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. But not matches you need to go out of your way to see. But they're fun to watch. If you got the free time, you can find them online or whatever. Do it. But do not waste your money on this pay-per-view. Do not support this piece of trash that TNA is presenting and trying to pass off as a pay-per-view. Go out of your way. Go buy a indie show, which is actually, they'll give you some more bang for your bucks.
No kidding.
Shut up.
For me, I'm gonna have to go a little lower. I'm gonna have to go with a 4.5. I thought this show was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't go out of your way to see anything. I would say the match of the night for me was the women's match.
Yep.
If you like women's wrestling, you should see this. It was good. It was very enjoyable, and the spots are things you don't normally see in women's matches, so that was pretty cool.
Brutal, actually.
But aside from that match, I really don't have much good to say about this.
No, there's every match had like a problem with it, I felt.
In the segments, the promo segments were long, drawn out, and terrible.
There were two good promos from Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, and Bad Influence both had pretty good promos.
The two people you would expect.
Yeah, and Bullet Ray had a pretty good one before the main event. However, there was something else significant about tonight, which was I defended my Strong Style Studios world title, and I was defeated tonight after only one title defense by this man sitting next to me, thanks in part to Chris Sabin winning the X Division title. So, as your defending champion, I pass the belt on to you. And enjoy it while it lasts, because it ain't gonna last long.
Oh man, it's looking good already.
It looked better on me. Okay.
It's found its home now.
All right. One last thing. I have to pay up a bet, which is the Red Wings lost the series in the Stanley Cup chase to the Blackhawks, and I promised my buddy Mr. Pay-Per-View, or Kyle, whatever he calls himself now, said I would give him a plug, and I'm going to. And I will put his Twitter, which is at KConHawk, whatever, and his YouTube page. He does a lot of reviews. He does WWE, he does ROH, he does TNA, and he does a lot of AAW, because he's from Chicago, and he goes to a lot of their shows, in which was a promotion I've been meaning to get into. But check him out. He's got some pretty good opinions, and I actually like his opinions quite a bit. Funny guy too, so go give him a plug. And there you go, Kai. I paid up my bet. All right, but from me and your new champion Noah, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.